Hello, boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about dry fire. Specifically, we're going to talk about how I've used the steps and the techniques that I've utilized using dry fire to build the skills, the weapons manipulation skills that I have, right? How do I try to do something that I don't currently have and incrementally get better at that in a way that I make sure I'm not developing training scars? Cool. All right. So, for starters, whenever we're learning something new, let's just pretend that we're a brand new gun owner entirely. So, the first thing I suggest you probably work on is reloads. The very first time, the very first few times you do something, I mean, like literally, the very first times you ever drop a magazine out of a rifle and go to put a new one in it, or a pistol, right? Or that could be any skill. We're going to want to do robot steps. Now, that's going to be controversial because we don't want to be robotic in the final state. But if there's multiple steps to the process, which arguably there is for everything, and it's difficult for you to understand or remember all of them together, you can kind of break it down one step at a time and talk yourself through it just for you to get to the point where you understand all of the different movements that you need to execute, right? We're probably talking 5 to 10 repetitions going like a robot. One step, and then the next step, and then the next step. As soon as we are comfortable with all the different movements we have to do and remembering them, we need to stop moving like a robot. Which brings us immediately into our next phase, which is slow motion, smooth movements. Super slow motion, right? So if a one shot reload, one shot time, a really smoking one is like what, 1.5 or 2 seconds or so, and an acceptable one is like 2.5. Our slow motion time, we need to be like taking 10 seconds to do this, like literally moving at slow motion, right? Because we're still very new and we still need to be hyper fixated on not making any sort of mistakes, right? So if we start rushing early on, then we're going to be moving our body improperly because we're trying to rush real quick and we're going to be making mistakes. And that's going to build training scars. So to avoid that, for a long time, it's going to feel almost retarded how long you're doing this, but just go slow. So the first day of trying anything new is just a couple robot steps and then all slow motion, right? Maybe even the first few days are just all super slow motion. I'm talking like 50 reps of this activity a day, all slow motion, until you feel really fluid and comfortable with that. Now, while you're doing those slow motion steps, you either need to have a buddy watching you who also understands what it is that they're looking for, or you need to videotape yourself so that way you can go back and review the footage. Ideally, intermittently, right? Videotape yourself doing 5 to 10 reps, go back, watch that video. Reset up, correct any mistakes, videotape yourself doing 5 to 10 more reps, go back, watch that video, so on and so forth. Be very critical with yourself, right? Being easy on yourself is not going to do you any favors in the long run. Okay, once we're feeling really comfortable with a super slow motion, we're not making any mistakes, we're not confused at all, we're executing the drill properly every single time, then we can start to go to non-rushed fluid movement. So we're not in a hurry, but we're just not forcibly putting the brakes on anymore. So now we're just comfortably in a non-rushed state, fluidly going through it. Okay. And then again, we're gonna stay here for a long time, like weeks, probably weeks and weeks of us when we do dry fire, starting off doing slow motion, 5, 10, 15 reps, and then transitioning as we're feeling comfortable into non-rushed fluid motion, right? So still not rushing, but just not going slow either. Once we're feeling really confident and we've recorded ourselves a bunch, we feel good doing the drill, the buddy that's watching us is telling us we're doing the drill good, we're recording ourselves and we're looking at the footage of us doing the drill good, then we can start to pick the pace up a little bit. To find out where your time is at for that, I would suggest you continue to push the speed incrementally, right? Try to do a little bit faster, like 5 to 10 reps, and then a little bit faster, 5 to 10 reps, and a little bit faster, 5 to 10 reps. When you get to a point where you're making mistakes 20 to 30% of the time, you need to stop there or back it up just a little bit, and then that is the speed that you're practicing at, right? So when you're making like 10 to 20% of the time you don't have a good repetition, that's where you're pushing yourself enough that you're going to get better, but you're not pushing yourself so hard you're developing training scars. And again, same thing. You need to have a buddy watch you, or you need to videotape yourself so you can watch that recording and see if you're doing anything wrong. Got it. Cool. So we're going to do robot steps, just like, because it's the very first time we're doing something. We're going to spend a lot of time doing slow motion, and we're going to often and frequently return in the beginning of our dry fire for the first few reps back to that super slow motion. Once we're comfortable, we're going to move to non-rushed fluid, and we're going to stay there for a very long time until we're feeling very, very comfortable with this movement and we're not making any mistakes with it. Then we can start to rush it a little bit. Once we've been rushing it and we've been making a little bit of incremental time improvements, we're keeping everything together good, then we can start to time ourselves, start to really push it, put on a buzzer. So, I can normally do this in a second and a half, but I'm going to put a timer for 1.3 and try and beat the timer. We can start adding movement, right? So not only am I going to be doing this drill, but I'm going to be moving, just simple moving side to side or forward back, or taking a knee or standing up or whatever the case is, right? Or we're going to do a compound drill where we're doing not just one technique, but multiple techniques back to back. Wonderful. Okay. What should you be practicing, right? If you're a brand new shooter, the skills in order that I think you should focus on is reloading the weapon system, right? Getting the old mag out and getting a new mag in, and then running that action so that there's a round in the chamber. Your draw or your present drill, right? Draw for pistols typically, present drills for rifles and shotguns typically. Your target transition, right? So moving from one target to another target and being target focused, having your eyes track the target, not the dot. And then clearing malfunctions. So any and all malfunctions that particular weapon system can incur, you need to understand them and practice going through the steps to clear them out. So once you've worked yourself through that, right? You've done your reloading and you went robot step, slow motion, non-rushed, rushed fluid, and then the same thing for draw present, same thing for target transition, same thing for malfunction clearing. Then you can start doing the high speed things where you're doing multiple of those things together. You're adding time restrictions, you're adding some basic movement to it, and really spicing your dry fire up a bit. But again, if now there's ever a new thing, a new weapon system, a new technique, whatever the case is that you want to try, we're going to go back to this. We're going to start with almost robot steps, quickly move into super duper slow motions, stay there for a long time, often return. After we feel comfortable with that, move to non-rushed fluid movement, and only after we're extremely comfortable for a long time there do we move to rushed fluid movement. And the entire time, again, we need to have a buddy watching us, or we need to be recording ourselves so we can make sure we're not inducing any training scars. That's it. That's how you use dry fire to go from being a zero to a hero on your own. Now, I think you should go get training, right? You should go, probably, unfortunately, for most people, have to spend money to get good training from somebody at some point. Earlier on, the better. But I'm also a realist, right? I'm not just like everybody else on the YouTube that's like, well, you got to go spend $10,000 on training or you suck, right? If you went and bought a police trade-in Glock 22 for $300 and a $200 pump 12 gauge, and that took you a year of saving to get together plus some ammunition and a few mags, it's unrealistic to expect you to now go out and save for another 2 years just to go to a training class or two. And there's a ton of information on the internet, and you have a video camera on your phone, and you have a living room, and you can absolutely make progress and make yourself better in the meantime. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't go get training. I'm saying if you're unable to go get training or unable to go get regular training, that's not an excuse for not making yourself better. All right, boys and girls, keep crushing life.